We begin with breaking news right now. The Supreme Court is protecting access to a widely used abortion pill. It's our top story on the 4. I'm Heather Myers.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. That decision just came down minutes ago. CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal joins us live in studio with more. Kelly.
As you mentioned, this decision just came down a short time ago. Now, there were a number of things that the High Court could have done, and in the end, the justices decided to leave access to mifepristone as is, so it remains widely available as this case makes its way through the legal system. So this is a win for the Biden administration and for pro-choice advocates. The case at the center of all this is out of Texas. A federal judge there ruled to ban the drug altogether. The case was appealed, and even an appeals court limited access to the drug. But here we are now with the Supreme Court saying access will not be changed while the case plays out. So it is important to note that regardless of the decision today, abortion pills would have still been accessible here in California. Governor Gavin Newsom has stockpiled 2 million mifepristone, which is an alternative to the widely used mifepristone. However, there are more side effects with that alternative drug. So keep in mind the decision made by the High Court today really only addresses the near future of the drugs. Because if the High Court takes up the Texas case and agrees to rule on the merits of it, it's likely it'll be a while before we get a decision, and that decision, should it happen, will have widespread consequences for the FDA's approval of all drugs, not just abortion pills.
This is really beyond the right of a woman to terminate her pregnancy by using drugs. This is about the availability of drugs in a broad array of conditions, and whether the way the FDA has been approving those drugs has been proper.
And as you heard Eaton say, this case is complicated. It's a lot more complicated than it on its face. So as you heard him say, the outcome of this case down the road could have a big impact on other FDA-approved drugs. Heather and Carlo.
Yeah, Kelly, if the High Court agrees to hear the Texas case, which essentially bans mifepristone, when do you think that ruling could be issued?
Well, it's unclear to say exactly. You know, I asked Dan Eaton that today, and he says it likely won't happen this year, or possibly it could happen in the fall, but likely we wouldn't get a decision until potentially next year, maybe even right before the presidential election in 2024.
He said this decision has a lot of ramifications to how the FDA does business. We'll see if the Supreme Court wants to tread in those waters. Kelly Hessedal reporting for us. Thanks, Kelly.